Hello, this is Tony. Welcome to Too Tough to Die. Chronological order, this is my 11th podcast. Hopefully it's the 11th you've listened to in order. Today we'll probably talk about some of the business scams that are going on out there. Or we could talk about things like the Panama Papers and the Paradise Papers. What do you want to hear today? You don't get a choice. This is me talking. Freedom of speech. I choose. Joe just gave me a thumbs up. So we're talking about the business scams today. And to be honest with you, they affect all of you. Certain different things seem innocuous at the time, but it's a small symptom of a larger problem. Just very, very basically. And a lot of these topics today are diverse. It seems like bouncing from one to the other. They all fit into the same master plan today. And when you buy something online, you shop online, you buy it. And when it arrives, sometimes the guy says, you owe me some cash because you owe me some duty and tax and a brokerage charge, $9.95 if you're lucky. And that's because Canada says, you spent money out of the country, we want our fair share. Now, you can go to the States shopping, and they'll let you come back with up to $200 worth of stuff. You spent $200 out of the country. There's no tax on it. I mean, technically they could say, well, no, that's taxable. Duty-free. NAFTA, duty-free. Yeah, it's not a fucking duty. It's HST, Harmonized Sales Tax. And if you remember, that asshole Chrétien wanted to call it a blended sales tax. And everybody was up in arms right away. They said, oh, blended sales tax. That's BS tax. That's a good one. Let's do BS tax, Chrétien, you fucking piece of shit. They changed it to harmonized. We're not going to blend it with the provincial sales tax. We're going to harmonize it with the provincial sales tax. Why don't they just call it an FUT? It's a fuck you tax. So they can charge that tax, but they don't charge it. And a lot of the times is you come back with $100, $150. Actually, you got $450 for the stuff, but you tell the guy at the gate there, what do you got today? Oh, but $100, and he waves you through. Unless you're sweating like a son of a bitch and getting all jittery. Because it takes a lot of time to go in and process all the paperwork to say, hi, you owe me $8 of fucking HST. However, we're going to go that route very shortly. But the point is, when you do it online, you still bought the stuff out of the country. They hit you for taxes, and the broker's bringing that there, so you got to pay them too. The broker fee to get that in the country, and possibly duty. There is possibly duty on this one. But anything over $20, they make you pay on. Well, you're buying out of the country and you're robbing Canadians of the tax. You let fucking one guy go across the border and bring back $200 worth of goods, and, in some cases $300 and $400, no tax. You could have 20 people buy $20 worth of stuff online, $400, same amount, but you want to tax each and fucking every one of them. So there's something wrong there. Now, another thing that really gets me, it's fantabulous. Another portmanteau. All these car dealerships, they've all got signs up there now. First of all, yeah, the car dealerships, that's the building with the 100 white, silver, and gray fucking cars on the lot. That's all they'll sell you. Well, you can order that one in. Well, you can get that. Oh, it's extra $199. Fuck off. Stop making your lot fucking monochromatic, for Christ's sake. Anyway, that's not even the point. We've talked about that before. We know where we sit on that one. Joe, it's kind of weird here. All December already. I haven't mentioned the asshole drivers. There are several. I've got you listed down here, and I'm going to let you know who you are. And hopefully some of your friends know it's you, and they give you the proper ribbing they've got. But these car dealerships, the sign up there now says they also sell certified pre-owned vehicles. Okay, now that means used car. Now, I know it's a fucking used car. It's a 2012. You want to make it nice, politically correct. It's not a used car. It's pre-owned. Oh, well, did somebody buy it and put it away and never fucking use it? That's pre-owned. No, they fucking used it and they traded it in or sold it or did whatever or got it fucking repoed. I don't know. It's pre-owned. No, it's used. And the dealer certifies that it's pre-owned. Jesus, holy shit, man. You gotta certify it's pre-owned? I fucking know it's pre-owned. It's a 2007. It's got 183,000 kilometers on it. There's rust on it. It's fucking used. I know. I don't need you to certify that it's fucking pre-owned. That's just stupid. Car dealers got you on the color, the paint. They got you on the certification of pre-ownership. And they get some of the fools that are, hoity-toity. I don't know, maybe the shit doesn't smell. I don't know. They got to buy a Lexus and an Acura, and they pay the $80,000 and $90,000. They pay all the extra premium. No offense to you out there if that's you. It's an offensive topic. If you don't like what I say, once again, I don't care. You're a sucker. You're paying for the same thing from Toyota or Nissan. They've rebranded it, Acura, Lexus, whatever the rebranding model is, and you pay a premium for that. You pay a fucking premium for that. Another fucking scam. A simple scam that affects us over at T&L Tax and Finance. Toner cartridges. Ink cartridges. Okay, we don't use ink cartridges. That's the biggest scam going in the office products area. If you have an ink cartridge printer, you are a sucker. It's not bad that you're a sucker, but maybe you didn't realize this. Maybe you didn't know. I'm telling you now. The cost of the printer was probably only $59. They marked it down from $200 down to $59. Do you know why? The printer isn't worth fucking shit to them. The ink is. They mark up the ink about 15,000%. It's drops of fucking ink. They're practically giving you, it's like the drug dealer giving you the first hit for free. Because once you're hooked, you got to keep going back. They practically give away the printer. And you bought it and you tell her, I got a good fucking deal on the printer, $59 fucking dollars. But now you got to go buy ink cartridges all the time. And the color ink is the bigger scam of the two. Because most people don't use the color ink. And it's for different reasons. One of them is, okay, I have a fucking white, silver, and gray car out in the driveway. I'm a monochromatic fucking idiot. I don't even need color in my life. Well, that could be it. Yes, it was facetious. By the way, facetious, that's one of those words where it's got all 5 vowels in the correct order. How about that? I know you're going to type it out and write it out and look at it. Facetious, he says facetiously. But you also might not want to use that color ink because color ink is fucking more expensive than black ink, and you don't want to use it up. And it's not because you're cheap, it's because you're prudent. Or you're cheap. That could be a branch of 0.2. And that's good. But here's the thing. When the color ink, whether it's used or not used and dries out, when the color ink is empty, even if you've never used the fucker, except the very first time when you printed that test page, you want to see the cool colors, your toner or your ink cartridge doesn't work anymore. The printer will not print black anymore because it says, color toner is out. It stops the whole function of the printer. Apparently. It doesn't, but they want you to now go out and just rebuy an expensive color ink cartridge that you're never using for that printer that you got a really good deal on. And you're paying $50 and $60 for ink. Fucking ink. So again, I think we mentioned we don't use ink. We use the laser toner cartridges. Now, there's a scam with those too. And the scam is your printer hooks up to your computer and it keeps track of how much toner cartridge you got left. And it lets you know when you're under 50%, you're under 10%. And then it says, toner cartridge done. Change toner cartridge. Don't do that. Your cartridge still has a lot of paper in it. We get, and we're in office printing a lot of paperwork. When our toner cartridge is done and out, we probably get another 3 weeks to a month because we push the little button that says, no, please continue and print. They want you to just buy it and, you're out. You got to go get a new one. No, you don't. You just keep reusing it. Push it, go, yeah, it's there. You don't even have to shake the damn thing around. It just tells you it's out. Fucking scam. I guess there's the old cable television or satellite television, whatever, and we all know about the prices of that shit and the shitty product they've got. And we were supposed to go to Pick and Pay. You could just pick the channels you wanted and just pay for just those. And that got revamped to a basic package for the people that really can't afford it, but they've got to have their TV, because how else are we going to get them the mainstream fucking media feed? They get CNN and The View. Bunch of fucking crotchety old cunts. So that didn't work. The cost of the channels is the same as my package. Well, yeah, that's right. That's a scam. Another scam is basically pro sports. A couple of decades ago, pro sports went asinine with salaries. Everything got escalated. People used to go to a baseball game for $3. Sit in the bleachers, have a good old time. You're now talking $100 a ticket. You could take a vacation with your family of 4 or 5, let's say. Let's say you have wife and 2 or 3 kids. You can take a nice vacation. Or you can go to a fucking game, one game. The prices went outrageous. Then they did things like, well, here's a good marketing tactic. The people have our red jersey, and the people have bought our white jersey for home jersey. What could we do? I know. We're going to institute a thing called the third jersey. And we'll use it on special occasions and this and that. And it worked. You've got fucking peons that own 3 sports team jerseys now. The blue one or the colored one, the red one, whatever. And the white one. And the third one. So they're after your money. They don't care. They just up the ticket prices. You fell for it. It's a business. Like the NHL, the hockey league. Hockey is a good sport. The sport of ice hockey is a good sport. The National Hockey League sucks ass. It's gone downhill the last 2 decades since that little midget Bettman took over. He's an asshat. He totally wrecked the NHL. He pulled teams out of Canada. By the way, Canadians used to be like 75% of the league. Okay, it's not that anymore with the influx of, European and talent, and a lot more Americans were growing up playing hockey now, and that was good. So I'm not saying Canadians have to be 75%, but it's a Canadian game. By the way, it's not our national sport, in case you didn't know that. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. You look it up yourselves, and then you go online onto the website, and you give some feedback, and you say, hey, Joe, tell Tony I know what the fucking Canada's national sport is. It's not hockey. So he pulled teams out of Canada, pulled out Quebec Nordiques, pulled out Winnipeg Jets, wouldn't give teams in Hamilton a shot. They don't like the game in Canada. They cringe whenever a Canadian team would make it to the finals because U.S. TV ratings go down. And they put teams in the deep south where it's hot and the only ice is in drinks. And they put them in the desert. And they put them in California and Arizona and Texas and Tennessee. And Georgia, Florida, multiple Floridas. And it's only because they have bigger TV markets for TV revenue and advertising dollars. They don't care. He did not care about the sport of ice hockey. He was promoting the business. They didn't care about the players. They didn't care about the fans. Just give the players more fucking money. I don't care. We'll just jack up the price of the stupid peon fans who are wearing our third fucking jerseys. Look at those two idiots over there. They got the third jersey on. And I guess the rationale was they're trying to expand the brand and they like hockey in the South. Okay, well, they don't support it. Phoenix Coyotes were bankrupt for years and years and years, but they kept them going. And I don't care if people in the South like hockey. People in Canada like fucking pineapples. We're not going to start planting pineapple plantations because it won't go over well here. They didn't seem to care about that. So the NHL is more like the WWE. It's like sporting entertainment on ice. It's not ice hockey, I'll tell you that. And the wrestling thing, this is the funny thing, another sports-related thing. Fake wrestling is called professional wrestling. But real wrestling, Greco-Roman style wrestling, etc., is called amateur. Why don't you figure that one out? I mean, you even had guys in baseball. Oh, they can't trade me. That's slavery. They're trying to say they own me. Yeah, fuck you, Kurt Flood. Started all that bullshit. Racism should be where it belongs, on a fucking Scrabble board or alphabet soup. Although, you know what? It's hard to find a fucking M in alphabet soup. But the NHL wrecked hockey. They kept changing rules. They put in all these stupid teams everywhere. They kept changing all the rules to try to appeal to this. And then somebody cried about that, so they appealed to that. And then somebody cried about that, so they just kept changing them. And good case in point was Mark Howe one time was skating down the ice and he fell and he was sliding on his back and he went into the net. Goalie got out of the way. Net was on the pegs. The net kind of lifted up and the round W-shaped thing that holds the net down kind of went up and it fucking pierced his ass or his buttock or his gluteal region. And right away, there's something we got to do with the nets. People are going to get hurt. Okay, first of all, if you do something with the nets, people are going to get hurt. Goalies. You don't know what you're talking about. Fucking right I do. I was a goalie. Now, they changed the rule and they tried to cut the W thing off. Then they had to get rid of the posts that held the net there. Well, we'll put them in with like magnets so it will release on a certain amount of pressure. Well, guess what that caused? Well, for a game perspective, it caused delays of the game when players would intentionally push it off. That's not sportsmanlike. But what it did cause was a lot of goalie injuries because now these players were skating down full fucking head of steam, heading right at the net, right at the fucking goalie, plow right into him. Because guess why? They had no fear of sliding into the steel post that was pegged into the ground and wouldn't move. They had no more fear. Kind of like when they put the helmets on, people start swinging sticks up high. So that's a crock of shit. And you got a problem with, we have to get rid of the fighting. Why? Don't the people in the South like the fighting? Sure they do. Well, we're hearing from one small faction of fucking liberals and politically correct people that think fighting shouldn't be there. Well, whether it should be or not, they put in an instigator rule. You start a fight, you're ejected. So guess what happened? Star players were getting fucking hurt because people were taking liberties. Some of the liberties that I don't have on Twitter sometimes because they're a fascist fucking organization. So here's how you stop a lot of the fighting and cheap shots on your star players there, midget Batman. You take away the instigator rule. If somebody goes and hits your star player, guess what? Somebody walks over to that guy and lays a fucking thumping on him or makes him put up his fucking dukes. Guess what? It stops most of the time. How else can we stop it? Football. One team used to put the quarterback on the line as a trick play. Here's how you stop that. Take your big aggressive fucking linebacker, line up against him, he gets a free shot within 5 yards. Guess what? We won't put our high-priced quarterback on the fucking line anymore. Baseball has bench-clearing brawls. Simple. Anybody that goes to the mound for a fight, 10-game suspension. Anybody that comes off the infield, the outfield, the bullpen, or the dugouts and steps on the field, 10-game suspension. And if your whole team comes out, guess what? Your whole team is suspended for 10 fucking games, and you got to bring up the AAA guys. Everybody that comes out and starts a fight, the batter runs out there, the pitcher fucking runs out there, anything happens, 10 games, guess what? Won't happen anymore. And when a pitcher does something, instead of giving him 6-game suspension, which is only 1 start, you give him 6 start suspension. You say he's 24-game suspension. So you get away with shit like that. Another business scam, the price gouging that people talk about. Gasoline goes up ridiculously, and then it comes back down. And they try to bullshit you with supply and demand and summer, winter, and all. It's always at the fucking holiday. Everybody knows it. It goes up 12 and 13% at a time. You know, your $25,000 car? Yeah. Well, if it went up $3,200 the next day when you went back to go get it, there'd be a hue and cry. That went up 13%. Well, gas does it every fucking week. And you call it gouging. And how dare they fucking gouge you? And a natural disaster, they fucking jack the price of water up and food. That's fucking gouging. And everybody says, you can't fucking do that. But when we have a Super Bowl or Mardi Gras or something like that, hotels jack up the price $400 a room per night. And everybody says, hey, look at that, good business. When the Super Bowl comes, everybody gets good business. That's fucking price gouging. Are you a fucking hypocrite? I remember when the Super Bowl was in Detroit. And the Windsor Chamber of Commerce, or whoever the fuck it was, I don't know, mayor. Every hotel room from Windsor to Leamington was full, sold right out, up to $400 a room per night. This is great for business. Okay, it's fucking price gouging. The room wasn't $400 last week. There's nothing wrong with that. And if the fucking guy wants to put up fucking price of gas to $2 a liter, you fucking let him. Okay, here's the thing. They don't let him do that because there is a collusion there. But if he wants to do that and we want to, it's up to us then. And I am going to talk about boycotts in the future. There are some things that are going to be talked about in the future. I'm almost done for today. Boycotts is one of them. I'm going to teach you how to do that properly. There's a way to boycott a gas station properly. Go in and buy your gas. That's it. Don't buy lottery tickets. Don't buy soda. Don't buy air freshener. Don't buy windshield washer. Guess what? They'll bring the price back down for you. It's simple things like that. So you learned a little bit today. Tony's done.